As you've probably noticed, basketball styles are different today than they were back in the 80s. Not only did we have super short shorts, we also didn't even have compression shorts. That was pre-compression short era. We had to use athletic supporters. One day, one of my teammates showed up and he had this red jockstrap he was wearing. And the other teammates kind of teased him a little bit about it and made fun a little bit, but he kept wearing it. But finally, they kept bugging him, so he changed it to a regular white one again. And that day, we had a game against our crosstown rivals. So we ended up losing that game. It was very frustrating. And some of my teammates suggested he switch back to his lucky red one then and see if we do any better. Anyway, we ended up going undefeated the rest of the season, and that was the only game we lost all year. Now, did we really believe that wearing crimson underwear would ensure victory? No, but why risk it? So this is just one example to show that athletes can be very superstitious. Superstitions are practices or rituals that people do in order to try and ensure a positive outcome. Sometimes these are things they do in order to avoid a negative outcome. A lot of times we don't even realize we're talking about superstition when we say things like, keep your fingers crossed, knock on wood, 3 times the charm, those sort of things. So it really is part of culture these days. I'd also like to differentiate between outright superstition versus personal preferences, habits, OCD behavior, or sports psychology. Now, one way a lot of these superstitions start is because an athlete might notice some anecdotal correlations, jump to an unscientific conclusion, and then just stick with it. And basically, that's kind of the definition of bro science. The goal of many sports psychologists is to help an athlete reduce anxiety, increase their confidence so they can get in the right proper frame of mind and mindset to have success in their given sport.
Think your own happy place. Go there, then putt. Happy place. Happy place.
Before we get into some of the bigger superstitions, I'd like to talk a little bit about routines and rituals. This is something you'll see in sports, especially like maybe when someone's putting or getting ready for a serve. You see it a lot at the free throw line. You have players like Jeff Hornacek, Steve Nash, Jason Kidd, that had a reputation for having this regular routine they would go over. Now, I don't think this is necessarily superstitious. I think this is just about getting confidence in the situation, getting control, and creating consistency. And so I think this is a great thing. I don't consider this superstitious, although it might look kind of crazy from the free throw line. Some other famous rituals or routines you may have seen over the years is LeBron doing his famous chalk toss before each game. When it comes to baseball and hockey, one thing that you'll see come up is playoff beards. When it comes down to crunch time, sometimes these people think that growing their beard out will give them more luck or help them do better. Some people might think that growing a beard out or growing your hair out or the team shaving their head or getting ugly haircuts together might be a superstition. I actually think that's more an act of camaraderie and unity, something they do for solidarity among team members. So I don't really classify that as a superstition. However, some athletes may get a little more extreme. Some don't like to wash their uniform if they're going through a win streak. I've heard that Serena Williams will change her clothes between matches, but she does wear the same pair of socks all tournament long for good luck. We know that Michael Jordan wore his lucky North Carolina Tar Heel shorts underneath his Bulls uniform, and Tiger Woods was known for his lucky red jersey. One of the most superstitious athletes had to be Wade Boggs. He was known for having a variety of odd superstitious behaviors, but one of the weird things I think he's known for is only eating chicken before each game.
It's a chicken.
That could get old in a hurry. In NASCAR, they have an unwritten rule that it's unlucky to wear green. They also don't want peanuts anywhere near the track. Apparently in the 50s, there were a couple fatal crashes, and in those cases, they found peanut shells in the cars, and so it just stuck from then on, and they don't want anything to do with peanuts. That's an interesting type of peanut allergy. Numbers are another area associated with luck. So obviously, when it comes to picking a jersey, you're going to have a lot of players that have a strong opinion about what number they should have. And I'm actually guilty of this myself. I've used number 55 and 51 and 23 over the years, but I've got to have an odd number. Even if we're just playing pickup ball and there's a bunch of jerseys I'll go through, I got to get at least a 33 or an 11 or 35, but I can't play with an even number. I'd rather have a tight number 11 jersey than a good-looking 44 that fits me better. Sorry. Now, it's not just the participants who can be superstitious. A lot of times the spectators are. Sometimes you'll see them wear their lucky clothes to the game to help out. I've seen a lot of cases where you're watching a football game and someone comes and joins, and as soon as they do, the other team your favorite team starts going down by a couple touchdowns, and so they're kind of like complaining, like, oh man, I'm unlucky. I'm going to go in the other room. If I watch this, they're doing bad. It's my fault. So they make that great sacrifice for the team. Stuff like that doesn't make any sense. Even announcers can be superstitious. A lot of times you'll hear him talking about a shooter going through a great shooting streak where he's made so many free throws in a row or so many threes in a row, and then the other announcer will nudge him and tell him to stop it. They're going to jinx him. In fact, here's a short clip of the Hornets announcer talking about the flack he got from Michael Jordan about this.
He believes in superstition to a certain extent, and the whole free throw jinx. So every once in a while I'll mention the fact that Terry Rozier has made 19 consecutive free throws, and he will find me in the hallway and say, hey, you know what, stop jinxing my free throw shooters.
So are you superstitious? Even a little bit? Now, if someone's getting good results doing some sort of superstitious practice, that's one thing. If it's not broke, don't fix it. In fact, you'll notice that a lot of these examples are the GOAT in their sport. So it's not like it seems to be hurting their game any. So if you can gain confidence by implementing some unproven or unscientific practice and you do better with it, that's great. The only thing is you don't want to put too much power on that. If it's time to play and you can't find your lucky shorts or you don't get the right jersey number or you can't find your lucky charm, it can be like kryptonite for you and you'll lose your power. So you don't want to psych yourself out because of that. When it comes to luck and superstitions, the best takeaway I can give you for this video would be this reminder. The more I practice, the luckier I get. I'd love to hear in the comment section any superstitions or experiences you've observed over the years having to do with this. Also, I've been working pretty hard for 2.5 years now, doing a new video every single week, and I'm only halfway to being monetized, so I'd sure appreciate it if you enjoy these videos to like, comment, or subscribe, or just send me an envelope full of money if you don't want to do that.
Money, please.
Push the button.
Do it.